Hey guys, it's Grim here. A lot of you guys have been asking, how do I do certain walls, how to get them consistent, what are my lineups, and stuff like that. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the certain lineups that I do on every single map, my favorite walls that I use, just overall things to help you get better at Sage. So let's get into the video. Alright, so we're going to start off with Ascent. Personally, my favorite map for wall spots. In this wall, I get asked all the time how I do it. So I'm just going to show you guys how I line it up. I stand right on top of this fish. Then I look at the middle line of the garage where it meets with the wall. Then like every other jump boost, make sure you jump, crouch, not crouch jump. So that means like make sure you jump and then crouch because you'll get more height and you'll be able to boost up and not break the wall. Another thing I want to talk about was this wall right here. I see a ton of stages do this top mid wall sideways like this, where rather you should do it parallel with the wall so you can get an extra wall segment forward, giving you that sight and a higher chance of getting that kill because you see that head more and it's a lot easier. And for the peek and A main, what you want to be doing is standing on this dot. Look right in the middle of the box, and then jump crouch wall, and it should be extended. Also, if the enemy team starts to pick up on you being on the wall every single time, what you can do is you could wall this way, and make it a one way, so they'll swing you looking up, and then you shoot their toes, and it's really effective. Alright, and for the calf peek, what you gotta do is you gotta stand in the middle of this lemon box, and then aim at the middle of the shelf, like right around here. And then once you see the outline of the wall go up, that's when you know you're ready. So then you place your wall, and you should be able to see Cat and a little bit of Zabroza. Alright, one of my favorite walls in Ascent is the one mid. You've probably seen Patafan use it in Masters, but for this one, it's not too complicated. I just need to explain how it works. So the reason the wall gets extended on this one is because you're sticking the Sage wall halfway into the actual Ascent wall. And when you're doing that, the game counts that wall as a platform, and it makes the wall longer. So to stick it halfway in the wall and make it longer, just look a little bit to the right when jump placing the wall, and then all you gotta do is be up across. The only thing I'd note is probably get a smoke top mid so you don't get immediately headshot, but other than that, you're pretty safe. Alright, these next two walls are probably the best for post plant because of the options you have, so I highly recommend learning these. So what you're gonna want to do is walk back until you're a little past the wood board, and at the same time, walk back, jump, crouch, and wall, and then you should have a long wall. This one's pretty tedious, so make sure you go into custom game and try this one out before you go into comp game. And just make sure you got it down. The other one on this box is super good to mix it up. I normally do this one after I use the last wall you just saw. And to do this one, you have to line up the HUD line at the top where the agents are with the line of this box. Then look at this point of the box. And then after you have that down, jump, crouch, wall, just like the last one. And you can see the entrance to the site. So this wall is insane. This one's really, really good. Alright, so for our first wall and split, it's going to be the ramp wall to peek heaven and screens. For this one, you have to stand over the second cross on the ramp, then look at the blue line on the farthest left. Back up, then run forward and jump once the wall outline passes your screen right around here. Then place the wall to peek your jump and it should work. This next wall I use a lot, and what you have to do is you have to angle the wall halfway into the split wall to your right, kind of like the one on Ascent, and wall up whenever you hear noise in A main. It always catches enemies off guard, and if you want to be up in for more kills, it's super easy to be aggressive. Just like the last one, to get this wall, you have to angle the wall halfway into the wall to your right, then jump crouch wall at the beginning of your jump. This is a good angle, especially when ramp is smoked, because most times you can see over it when enemies think they're safe. Then for the jumping wall mid, you have to jump across the gap, hold crouch midair, and then wall. Make sure you angle the wall a bit to the left to get the extra wall segment, or else you'll just have 2 wall segments instead of 3. The more wall segments, the better. One wall I get asked about a lot is the new box wall on B. If you start hearing noise in B main, what I like to do is jump across rafter to the new box and wall in the box while I'm falling. I know you can make the jump without the wall, but it's super hard and I find it more consistent. The last wall I'm going to be talking about in split is the wall in heaven. This wall is super good for teams that like to fast push in heaven because a lot of the times they just immediately break the wall or go into stairs. So this wall can easily catch them off guard, and this wall has every angle covered. What you have to do is normal long wall off the ledge at an angle and make sure that you jump far enough not to hit your head and break the wall. Or you can do the variation where you just hide in the corner and it's a lot harder for the enemies to see you. Now for the first wall on bind is probably the one I get asked about the most. The wall in hookah is decently hard but just takes a bit of practice. What you have to do is walk up on the box, then when you're all the way on it, you're going to run back, not walk back, jump crouch wall, and then keep walking back to avoid hitting your head. If done right, you have a really good angle to see anyone walking into hookah. This wall inside is really good for catching people off guard, jumping out of hookah, or pushing garden if it's smoked. All you have to do is jump off the radionite box, and while falling, place the wall to catch you. Only do this wall if you have someone else helping you in hookah or garden, because if you're doing this by yourself, you're going to get absolutely smoked. Another wall that is heavily asked about is the one in CT to watch long or wall bang outside of hookah. To do this one, you have to place the wall around this area next to the crack, then angle the wall into the bind wall in front of you to get an extra segment. Then wall when your team says they're coming B. This wall is absolutely broken, so use this one as much as you can. Then going on to A site, a really good wall is the truck wall. This is one of the harder walls in Valorant, and to do it consistently, I recommend B-upping it. What I do is run up to the box and jump around here, then B-up around the corner and make sure you're crouching mid-air. Then when you're at the peak of your jump, wall, and you should be on top of the truck. This one takes quite a bit of practice, and I still miss it quite a bit myself. Another wall on A site is the one next to showers. This one is really easy, and all you have to do is angle the wall for the extra wall segment. Then strafe around the box and crouch wall at the peak of your jump. This one is really good for holding sight, and just make sure you have someone watching showers to smoke it off. Alright, the last one on bind is the one that sees into CT. All I have to do for this one is long wall off the container on site towards CT, and then you should be able to see over the window. This wall is really good if you're lurking and then planning while your team distracts on A. Then when the enemy team starts to rotate back to B, you'll headshot them all CT. Alright, now on to Breeze, my least favorite map. But there are a couple walls that you can use to make the map a little bit better. One wall I like to use is on the boxes on A to see over the pyramid. All you have to do is stand around this area and jump crouch wall on top of it. If done right, you have a sick angle that you can see over the Viper wall and always gets you a couple kills. Also, if you're opping on A, you could wall up next to bridge and play this really good angle that sees next to pyramid, and it's super good for post plant if they're going mid or CT. All you have to do is just wall normally towards this wall, and it's super easy. If you're playing nest and watching mid, you can wall and move out to not break the wall with your head, and get a better sight and to spawn in mid. You can also watch elbow and anyone that pushes out a B, so I love using this wall with an op. Or you can wall directly out, angling the sage wall into the wall on your right to extend it. This wall lets you see over the boxes down mid, however you are exposed to elbow, so it's kind of risky. Definitely not as good as the other one, but it's definitely a good mix-up. Then for B site, you can wall behind this pillar and jump around to have a really good post plant. I like walling behind this pillar more because you aren't exposed to CT, and you can watch mid and watch the push out of B main. Another post plant wall on B is this wall next to tunnel. What you have to do is line up your crosshair with the wall on your left, then look at the box around here. Then once you have that, jump crouch wall and immediately walk back to not hit your head and break the wall. This wall is super good to hold CT and tunnel push, and they never expect it. And the last one we talk about on Breeze is the wall that watches rotates from B to A for post plant. I like pushing up hull, and then when my team has control of A, I get on this box, angle my wall to line up with the dot in the wall, then I jump bang long wall and immediately get out of the doorway to not hit my head. This wall is super situational and requires a lot of practice, so I say master it before we get in game. The first wall on Icebox I'm going to talk about is the wall next to screens to watch A site. First, jump on top of the screens, then angle your wall halfway into the wall next to screens to extend the wall. Once you place the wall, break the other two segments so that enemies can't see your wall until they push onto site. On Icebox I normally play B or kitchen, but if my teammates need help on A, I come and do that wall and it always works. Also on attack when pushing A, a good wall to see over Viper walls and smokes is this one from pipes to 410. All you have to do is crouch jump wall when you're falling, and you'll get a good angle that lets you see into screens and backside really easily. Just make sure the site is smoked and you have someone covering you. Also, when holding kitchen, a good wall is to stand 3.5 boxes behind this counter, then jump crouch wall while going back to not hit your head and break the wall. This gives you a good angle for tube, and if you're being pushed by more than one person, you can back up and use it as a one-way too. By far, one of my most asked walls is this one on B site. What you have to do is line up the HUD line under the timer with the corner of this bridge, and make sure you're in line with the bridge too. Then, look at the kingdom box and line up with the K and go up to the bottom of this rectangle, and when you're ready, jump, crouch, wall, and you should go up with it and be able to see yellow push. This lineup is super finicky, so make sure to practice one a lot as it's super good. Alright, the last wall for Icebox is this one on container and B main. So what you have to do is get up to the orange box, then once you're on it, you have to jump, crouch, wall on the lower part of the container so you can be on top of it. The reason you can only do these two spots on container is because they are slightly lower than the rest of the top of it and are just the right height to be able to wall in it. And this wall gives you a great angle, just make sure that when you're going up to orange box, someone flashes for you or you slow so you don't get pushed on. Alright, last but not least, Haven. The first wall on A site is super good for gun runs and can solo hold a push on A site. What you're going to want to do is back up until you're around here on this square, then look around here on the floor. Then when you're lined up, running, jump, crouch, wall, and then wall when you're falling. Then once you get the wall, strafe around the other side, and then you should have one of the best off angles in the game. You can literally do anything with this wall. Also, another wall on A is to watch short and is a little easier. Just back up, then jump, crouch, wall in the short box just like the last one, but just make sure to break the wall segment in the front so the enemies can't see your wall when they're pushing up sewers. And then a lot of people ask me how to do the heaven wall in Haven. It's super easy. All you have to do is go as far as you can out the window. Then as soon as you are there, wall and hold D at the same time, all while holding crouch to not hit your head on the window and the skybox. After that, you should be out the window and can move wherever you want. Also, a lot of people don't know how to do the garage wall, so here it is. What you have to do is aim around here when the spawn barrier is up, then when it drops, go to the barrel and jump crouch wall and you should get it. However, if you look too far right, your wall peeks through and makes the wall very bad, so make sure you're looking far enough left. Also, make sure to bind fire to mouse wheel up so you can spam your wall while jumping, and it makes the garage wall much easier. And the last one for this video is the one on C site. It allows the wall to be longer so you can hide in the corner and play for the garage bush. So to do this wall, you have to be in the corner of logs, then look at this corner of the box. Then when you're lined up, run, jump, crouch, and wall while you're going up, and the wall should be long and should be on top. This wall's okay, however if they're paying attention, they can see your feet much faster than you can see them, so be careful because you're not completely safe in that corner. Hey guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys need any more help with the walls or have any wall ideas, go join the Discord that's in the description, and I appreciate you guys so much for the love and support you've given me. We just hit 480,000 subscribers, and this is a number I never thought I'd hit, so thank you guys so much, I appreciate you guys so much. And you bet when this new map drops, there'll be even more grim walls. Thank you guys, peace.